everyone, it is Things This Week episode 3, and this week's video is about traveling. So, let's get started. Question number 1. How many states have you been to? I think I have been to 14 states. I've been to about 14 states if that counts like layovers in airports in the airport. So other than that, I don't really know. I think about 14. Number 2, what is your favorite place to travel? My favorite place probably to travel would be California. I love California. I lived there, my husband and I lived there for a year, a couple years ago, and then I lived there for a little bit when I was 21 for a couple months. I was an intern for Disney, and I loved it as well, but I ended up moving back home, because I got really sick. So, but I love traveling to California. I've been all over. Number 3, what is a place that you want to travel to? I would love to travel to Italy. I've never been out. I've never been to Europe. I've never been outside of the continental U.S. I've been to Canada and Mexico, and I've been to Hawaii, but that's part of the United States. So I've never been anywhere else outside of our continent. So, number 4, what is your most memorable trip ever? I could probably, my most memorable good trip ever would be my 1-year wedding anniversary that my husband set up a surprise trip for me. I knew we were going somewhere, but he didn't tell me where we were going, and I knew we were driving, so we were living in Oregon at the time, and we ended up driving down to California, down 101, and stayed in Windsor, California, and then saw some fun roadside attractions, and then went to San Francisco. I'd never been to San Francisco before then. And then we came home. But it was just fun. It was just a fun trip for both of us to take. Number 5, best souvenir you've ever brought home. I don't really buy that many souvenirs. Probably the best one would probably be something from Disneyland. I think the last time I went to Disney, I bought a teacup that looks like one of the Alice in Wonderland teacups. So that was fun. That didn't make sense. I really like that teacup as well. So, longest road trip, probably down to Oceanside, California. That Oceanside is between Los Angeles and San Diego. I think that's the longest. Sorry. That's the longest I think I've been on. I did. Number 6. 3 must-have items for your carry-on bag. Probably my headphones, a magazine. I don't buy all Us Weekly and that kind of stuff unless I am traveling. So that's what I like to read on the plane, and I also have to have gum for takeoff and landing. That's what I do to help with my ears so they don't pop. Number 8, best roadside attraction. If you have ever been down 101, which is the highway that goes, I believe it does. Alex, does 101 start in Washington? I think 101 starts in Washington State. It starts in Washington State or it starts in Oregon. But what was the question? Okay, 101. It goes all the way down the coast through Oregon and California, and on it there's a lot of little crazy little roadside attractions. So my favorite one is the Paul Bunyan and Blue Ox. I think that's right in Northern California. Is it in Northern California, Alex? It's in Northern California, I think. But it's just fun, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit because I have this thing with unusually large objects. So the Paul Bunyan is huge. I'm guessing the Paul Bunyan's as big as the legend says he is. And he waves his hand back and forth, and he can wink and talk. And then he has the Blue Ox next to him. And that's actually in front of this other roadside attraction called the Trees of Mystery, which I've paid for, and it's a ripoff. Worst place you've ever visited? I'm sure this is not the worst place I've ever visited if I went there now, but when I was 11 years old, it was probably Yellowstone National Park. I hated that trip. It was just long days of driving, and it was hot, and we were staying in this really dirty, rustic cabin, and it wasn't a very fun trip for me. But maybe someday I'll go back and take my children, and it can be a better experience for me. Number 10, who do you love to travel with? I love to travel with my husband, Alex. And the bonus question, last place you visited and the next place you will visit or travel. The last place we traveled was Whidbey Island, which is in the Puget Sound here in Washington State. The next place we'll travel will be down to Oregon to my parents' house next weekend. So there we have it. Things this week number 3. I guess I will see you all next week. Bye.